Hi everybody and welcome to my live. I'm Divine Mix and today we are going to be talking about the shocking case that has hit America. United Healthcare's CEO was shot and unalived. The alleged murderer seemingly planned everything down to his own arrest. And his manifesto, the reason, the 3 bullets, deny, delay, depose, has officially, potentially, started the class war in America. Now, once again, everything I'm saying in this is alleged. I had to get information from all locations all over the internet, and more information is coming out. This case is recent. It only happened last week, and I'll be following along. Now, if you're unaware, December 4th, 2024, while Brian Thompson, this man right here, was in New York for an annual United Healthcare investors meeting, he left a Marriott hotel where he was staying, which happens to also be across the street from the New York Hilton Midtown, around 6:45 a.m. local time, EST. He was shot from behind by a person dressed in a hooded jacket with a face mask on. He was pronounced dead at Mount Sinai West Hospital in Manhattan at 7:12 a.m. The bullets had the following text on it: deny, delay, depose. Now, the people or persons involved in this case include United Healthcare, Brian Thompson, as well as Luigi Mangione. And United Healthcare in and of itself is quite controversial. It's an insurance and managed care company with 4 main divisions: employer and individual, which is for large national employers, denies between 17 and 32% of submitted claims. We have Medicare and retirement for health and the well-being of services of individuals aged 65 and older. We have community and state, which serves state programs that care for the economically disadvantaged, medically underserved, and people without the benefit of employer-funded care. They do have to pay a monthly premium per member. And then we have Global, which provides nearly 2.2 million with care and benefits service in South America. Now, in 2005, the price per share for United Healthcare is around $45.24. As of 2023, the price per share went up to 526.47 cents. Why did I say $526.47. So that's a difference of $481.23 in the past 18 years. And a good amount of that is because of this man right here, Brian Thompson, who we're going to get into. Now, they already have a Wikipedia on this man. They already have a Wikipedia on the murder of this man. Now, Brian Thompson was born July 10th, 1974 in Ames, Iowa. He, of course, died on December 4th, 2024 in New York City on the way to an investors meeting via gunshot wound. And the reason I'm mentioning that it's an investors meeting is because, as I told you guys, the price of those shares of stock has gone up drastically. And that is a huge source of contention in this case. Now, he was a graduate of the University of Iowa in 1997, and he has a Bachelor of Business Administration and was also valedictorian. Now, he started working at United Health Group, becoming the CEO of United Healthcare Unit. I believe in the last 4 or so years. Now, key information about him. His total compensation since becoming the CEO in 2021 is $9.6 million, 2022 $9.8 million, and 2023 $10.2 million. And just based off of that, I'm assuming it goes up and up and up, and it would have gone up even more in this year of 2024. Of course, that number is not available yet because 2024 still has a few more weeks in it. Now, under him, United Healthcare's profits increased from $12 billion to $16 billion in 2023. That's a $4 billion increase. And this is important to recognize because, as I said, it's a huge source of controversy. And the reason why the public, or at least government officials versus the public, and why there's such a huge difference in response to this. Now, I'm saying under him, they started to increase denials to the point that he was criticized in an open letter from the American Hospital Association regarding a plan to start denying payment for what is deemed non-critical visits to hospital emergency rooms. Now, I don't know about you, but my thought process always is hospital emergency rooms are there because technically it's an emergency. Either you don't know what's going on, you're panicking, you're scared, or it's, as I said, a serious emergency. So to deny people when they're going to the emergency room for something that they deem as an emergency is crazy. Now, I do want to show you this. I got this off of Reddit. It says the United Healthcare has the highest rates of denial. And this is actually one of the charts that are going around. There's a lot of them. You could look up United Healthcare denial rates. And United Healthcare has been always reported as having 33 to 32% denial rates, which is almost 10% or more than 10% higher than anybody else. So that is how the investors are getting this increase in profits. That is how United Healthcare is getting $4 billion increase in profits, is by denying people to keep the money. Now, side note, right? In May 2024, the Hollywood Florida Fighters Pension Fund sued Thompson and two United Health Group executives, CEO Andrew Whitty and Executive Chairman Stephen J. Hensley, for alleging fraud and insider trading. So overall, I want you guys to understand, I am not simply trying to give a biased viewpoint of one person's a bad guy, the other person's not. No. And I do know that the media is kind of pushing that out there, whereas social media is pushing out the opposite. Both people involved in this case have done bad things. Both people involved in this case have done good things, or have been victims. Both of them are victims. Both of them are perpetrators, if that makes any sense. Now, the shooter in question, or as many refer to him, the people's champ, the people's hero, Luigi Nicholas Mangione. And I'm going to show you, this is him right here. Now, he was born May 6, 2024, and for those of you that are interested in this 26-year-old's astrology aspects, he's a Taurus sun, Virgo moon, and Leo rising. So do with that what you will. He is noted as an app developer, and he's a graduate of a prestigious all-boys intuition, the Gilman School of 2016. This is the Gilman School. It's gorgeous, guys. It's huge. I think his graduating class was around 85 to 100, either that or that's the total amount that they have in this school. But it is an elite school, hands down. Elite school. He also graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, and if I recall, when he was in high school, the Gilman School, he was also valedictorian. So I want to mention this because that's something that's quite interesting in this case, is that both parties come from wealth, or at least have wealth. They are in the same wealth bracket, with, I would say, with Luigi himself coming more from family wealth, of generational wealth. I'm not 100% sure if Thompson is generational wealth, or if he came from a well-off family and he's the one that took it up to the next wealth bracket. But that is very interesting, and I think that's why there's a lot of people rallying for him, because this isn't like solely a poor versus rich type of situation. This is somebody who is rich, who was suffering due to this other person, fighting the system, and in many ways starting a class war. Now, with Luigi, he grew up in Baltimore and comes from an affluent Maryland family, the Mangione family of Baltimore County, which includes his cousin, elected member of the Maryland House of Delegates, Nino Mangione, his late grandfather, real estate developer, Nicholas Mangione Sr. His family also owns a bunch of clubs in Baltimore, Maryland, as well as WCBM radio station, I believe also a nursing home, among other things. So Luigi Mangione has enough money to pay for healthcare out of pocket. Okay? He has enough money. He has people around him who has enough money. So that's what makes this case also very, very interesting. Now, allegedly, he stopped communication with most of his friends and family for months, following a 2023 back injury that caused him to go dark, or more specifically, a 2023 back surgery that caused him to go dark. Now, apparently, what happened with him is that his spine is misaligned. It's misaligned with his lower vertebrae almost half an inch off, and it's suggested that it probably pinched a nerve and got in the way of day-to-day life due to debilitating pain. Allegedly, on Reddit, he often looked through spondylolithosis, which, according to Google, spondylolithosis is a condition where the vertebrae in the spine slips out of place, usually in the lower back. It's also, according to his potential Reddit, and once again, everything is alleged, it's also possible that he had IBS, brain fog, and visual snow. Visual snow is, like, have you ever seen like an old school static TV where it's like a whole bunch of dots everywhere? Like that. Now, he was reported missing by his mother to the San Francisco Police Department on November 18th. And according to one of his friends, he was and is single, as he knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible. Now, when he officially got that back condition, I'm not 100% sure. I'm just aware that he had surgery last year, and that is when he went dark. Now, key information. He was arrested in Altoona, Pennsylvania on December 9th while in a McDonald's. McDonald's is taking a lot of heat from the public right now. And we'll get into something that has to do with McDonald's that is either coincidence or planned. It's very interesting, guys. And he was charged with a murder in Manhattan court the same day. Now, on his person, he had multiple fraudulent IDs, a U.S. passport, a 3D printed gun, also referred to as a ghost gun due to its untraceability, a 3D printed suppressor, which allegedly is consistent with those used in the attack, a 3-page, 262-word handwritten manifesto which criticizes healthcare companies for prioritizing profits over patient care. Now, I actually do have the manifesto, which we'll go into, and I also want to say he also had a notebook on him which contains a description of ways to unalive the CEO and justified reasons for doing so, and also said that he was not working with anyone and he does apologize for any strife or trauma, but it had to be done. One of the things that keeps coming up when it comes to his notebook is that he even thought of bombing, but it's written in there that it would unalive too many innocents, and that's not something he wanted to do. Now, Luigi's manifesto, it says, "To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial, some elementary social engineering based CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. United is the indecipherable largest company by the US market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No. The reality is these undecipherable have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, e.g. Rosenthal, Moore, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty." That says a lot. And as I mentioned, guys, he did have a notebook detailing options and different ways to unalive the CEO. He does have justification notes next to each and every single one. He is charged with 1 count of murder, 2 counts of second-degree criminal possession of a weapon, 1 count of second-degree possession of a forged document, and 1 count of third-degree criminal possession of a firearm. Now, while public officials expressed dismay and offered condolences, social media users and the American people shared their contempt and frustrations for Thompson. This is the controversy around this case, is that people higher up are upset. They're sad. They are just like, this is a horrible thing that's happened, whereas the American public is just like, I understand why he did it. I absolutely understand why he did it. And for many of the American public, they feel as if he is the Robin Hood and fighting for them. He's a vigilante in their eyes. And I don't know about you guys, but if you watch a lot of comics, read a lot of comics, it tends to be the case that the higher up, the media, everything usually does not like the vigilante, whereas the people finally feel like they're being represented. So that's what we have going on here. Now, as I said, the American people shared their contempt and frustrations for Brian Thompson, United Healthcare, and the American health insurance system, feeling satisfaction with his death. Many have also posted their denial letters, like this one posted on Twitter from a Josh Penner. Okay, and it says, "Dear parents or guardian of Luke," so clearly we are dealing with a child. United Healthcare Community Plan received a request from Olympic Pharmacy and Healthcare Services on 11/29/2022 for an advanced Group 3 power wheelchair with features. The request was reviewed on 12/2/2022 by Medical Director Carter Sigmund, MD. Based on review of information provided, the request for an advanced Group 3 power wheelchair with features was denied on 12/2/2022. The reason for denial is your doctor asked for an advanced Group 3 power wheelchair with features. These are requested to help your child's mobility. This is because the child has cerebral palsy. This is a condition which can cause muscle weakness. We reviewed your child's health plan rules. If a wheelchair is not approved, its features cannot be approved. To approve this power wheelchair, your child's records must clearly show the following. A simpler wheelchair is not available to help your child's mobility. A simpler wheelchair cannot meet your child's needs. We also reviewed your child's records that were sent to us. They show the following. A simpler wheelchair is available to help with your child's mobility. A simpler wheelchair can meet your child's needs. Unfortunately, this request is not approved. It is not medical, it's not medically necessary. A simpler Group 2 power wheelchair may be asked to be reviewed. Please speak with your child's doctor if you have any questions. We use the following policy or guideline to decide. And obviously there's more in the back, but this is the main gist of it. And I don't know about you guys, but when I first read this, I was really shocked because cerebral palsy, as it mentions in here, the muscles pretty much deteriorate. So having a simpler wheelchair where they're pushing it like this, at some point they won't even be able to do that, and at some point it is going to start causing more damage than any assistance. So especially if you have cerebral palsy, you need one of those motorized wheelchairs, because that's going to make all the difference. So very shocked that they even denied that, very shocked that they even offered a simpler wheelchair when it is technically necessary in order for the child to even go through their day-to-day life. So that's one. And then there's many others all over Twitter, all over social media, with direct denial letters that make no sense to the people, such as this. And you know what? There's even letters from doctors themselves, such as this one, which was sent to United Healthcare Community Plan. And this one's from Sergeant Tibbs, but it says, "Dear buttheads at the insurance company, I can't believe it has come to this. I have to take time away from my patients to inform you that you are idiots. This whole experience makes me want to vomit. But of course, I wouldn't dare throw up without approval of my insurance company." Which brings me to my point. Apparently you have decided that a child receiving chemotherapy has no reason to be nauseated. I didn't think I was unnecessarily writing prescriptions for antiemetics for blank. Obviously, you would know better about the side effects of chemotherapy than me, my peers, and the entire scientific community, going all the way back to Dr. Sidney Farber. I suppose my alternative to Zofran and sopolamine is to let blank know that the nausea is all in his head. However, I don't imagine you would cover any psychology consultation either. So I'll just tell blank to stop throwing up. Thank you for that simple solution. You have saved your, and this part is crossed out, greedy blood-sucking corporation shareholders a great deal of money, I'm sure. Of course, that would be the bottom line. Feel free to contact me if you need any further information about how much you guys suck. Now, I don't know if anybody is watching from outside of America, but I'll give you some information. In America, there are a whole bunch of private doctors everywhere. And private doctors will flat out tell you, hey, we don't take that insurance, we don't take this insurance. And part of that is because they understand, or they're fully aware that if somebody has this insurance, they might not be able to help them. They've been fighting back for X amount of time. So a lot of people, even down to the medical professionals that are trying to help them out, are very, very frustrated. Now, that is why, for many, Thompson's death was compared to the pain, the harm, and the death experienced by healthcare denials, while many agreed with the following picture. So, as you can see, it shows what is assumed to be Luigi allegedly shooting down Brian Thompson, but also underneath showing that Brian Thompson collecting his pay while somebody is pretty much unalived in front of him going, life-saving meds claim. So that's a huge argument that the American public has, is that, yes, allegedly Luigi is the one who unalived Brian Thompson, but Brian Thompson is no innocent. He has, through his company, through legal means, he has led a business that has profited off of the pain, the harm, and the death of so many people. Now, the most interesting about this case is all the conspiracy theories going on around it. For instance, the YouTube account, 𝘱𝑒𝑃_Mangione, which was created on January 20th, 2024, uploaded an 84-second clip, which I'll show you. And 𝘱𝑒𝑃_Mangione is actually the same socials that Luigi tends to use. So this is the video, and I'll say this, the account was suspended, okay? So you're not going to be able to find this video on YouTube, only through other people. So as you guys can see, if you look closely, there is a countdown. Sorry. Well, if you look closely, there is a countdown, right? And it says, message from alleged United Health perp, and then, well, no, I'm sorry, so confused. The middle part, right, that where the countdown is the video itself, and it says the truth at the top, and then in the bottom it says, if you see this, I believe it says, I'm already arrested. Hold on. Yeah, if you see this, I'm already under arrest. So, and I'm just gonna speed it up to the end. Yeah, and then in the bottom, it says soon, December 11th. Now, there's a few things with this. Yesterday was December 11th, and we haven't really seen anything. I'm not sure if it's delayed. But also, there was another video that was scheduled to be released on 6:45 p.m. this Monday. Of course, YouTube suspended the account, so we have no idea if this December 11th was supposed to be another video or what. So from that second video, all people were able to do was get the binary code that was showed in the thumbnail, and I'll show you what it translated to. So yeah, that binary code that was showed in the thumbnail of the second video, which was supposed to be released 6:45 p.m. on Monday, says, "The truth will set me free." Now, this leads us into possibly what people are speculating, that does he have a get out of jail free card? So this ties into a simple game, a very well-known game of Monopoly. Now, during the hunt for the suspect, NYPD found a backpack full of Monopoly money in Central Park. This has led many people to believe that the suspect might symbolically be playing a game of Monopoly, a real-life game of Monopoly. And there's a few reasons why people are suspecting this. So, as you guys know, when you play Monopoly, everybody starts off with around $1,500 in cash, and that is how you start the game. So people are saying, okay, he left the cash for the game to start, right? Police found it in Central Park. He left the cash there. Now, the reason people really are latching on to this Monopoly conspiracy is because he was found in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And that is the home of the Pennsylvania Railroad, which is a spot on the Monopoly board. Now, ironically, not too far from this location on the game board is the go to jail spot on the board. So if this is the board and start is down here, right? Pennsylvania Railroad is here, and then around the board is go to jail. And a lot of people, this part is just speculation, where they say he shot 3 bullets, which means he rolled 3 die, right? So I guess, yes, you could reach to the go to jail in 3 die. Now, this is part of the reason why a lot of people are like, if we're following the game board, does he have a get out of jail free card? Because, you know, you go to jail and the jail's down here on the board. Somewhere. It's down here somewhere on the board. So he's really wondering, does he have a get out of jail free card? Now, ironically, Monopoly was supposed to teach us that capitalism is bad. And if you've played Monopoly with people, it's one of those games where it can really destroy friendships, which then again fits its purpose of why capitalism is bad. Also, ironically, McDonald's had a Monopoly game that was rigged so regular people can't win. It was a multi-million-dollar scam. I believe it cost around $24 million.
But hear me out. Is he symbolic?
So this person, her name is Angie__Marie 2. She kind of laid out her thought process on Luigi symbolically playing Monopoly, and she's very thorough in it. So listen.
I am fully operating from the stance that he wanted to get caught. If I am convinced otherwise, then I will go back to saying it's not him. So,
and I will say this, a lot of people are saying, just based off of everything, the fact that he had a manifesto on him, the fact that there was Monopoly money left in the park, and even the fact that the video itself says hey, if you're seeing this, I'm probably already arrested. So a lot of people think that even down to his arrest, everything is planned.
So my first question, which will bring us full circle at the end of my video, is he one of many players? I do believe he is at this point.
And that's what a lot of people are saying, is that if you're playing Monopoly, you're not playing by itself. So if the police are a player due to them receiving the Monopoly money, and Luigi's a player, there might be other players on the board.
Let's say I hope he is at this point. So the Monopoly money in the park, I made a video about this. It's a game where you get rich by making everybody poor, right? He could be saying so many things in line with his original message on the shell casings, right? So the start of the game is everybody gets $1,500 to start. I want to know how much money was in the backpack. It could be a lot of things. Just go with me that he's symbolically playing this game, okay? So $1,500 to start the game that he left for the police. Altoona, Pennsylvania is home to the Pennsylvania Railroad, which is a stop on this board. So that could explain why he picked that McDonald's location. He's moving along the board. I don't think him picking McDonald's was an accident. I think because McDonald's is a symbol for a rigged Monopoly game. A man rigged the McDonald's Monopoly game and was giving the tickets to his friends, to his family, for them to make money. And he donated to St. Jude's too. He was a villain, but at the same time, he was giving the money to people he knew. Whatever your angle is, it's a symbol of a rigged Monopoly game. I know that it's really odd that Starbucks and McDonald's are the two places mentioned in this story. Starbucks is where he went before the crime and McDonald's is where he went after. If this man is as in tuned as I think he is, that's not a coincidence. Those are two symbols of the people standing up and uniting against capitalism and using our power to bring down companies.
So she mentioned Starbucks. And of course, if everybody remembers, it's still going on. When everybody boycotted Starbucks because Starbucks is supporting Israel in the whole Palestinian issue, or not issue, in the Palestinian genocide, and how the people rebelled against capitalism, rebelled against Starbucks, started going more towards local coffee shops. So yeah, that is what she's talking about in regards to adding Starbucks into there, as well as McDonald's being completely rigged, and also how that affects everybody.
It all ties into his message. So players, every time they pass go, they collect $200 unless they go to jail. I think he wanted that older gentleman employee to call the police to send him to jail for him to collect the money. I think that
I will also say it is alleged that the person who did call the police for the $50,000 reward is a woman. It is not confirmed. Her identity is not fully out there. That is simply what is found out by netizens. So, and also, once again, it's a $50,000 reward, but also, once again, with rewards, police rewards, you do have to pay taxes on that. So whatever is taxed off of that $50,000, that's technically what she got, which could possibly be roughly half of that in total.
Pass go, he was free to go if he wanted to, but chose to go to jail and chose to let that man collect the money. Where we are now in the game is him being in jail. So the next play would be, does he have a get out of jail free card, or is he waiting for somebody else to take their turn? That brings us full circle back to the beginning. This is a multiplayer game. I don't know, but I think he's really smart. And I love this theory.
Yeah. So, as I said, like a lot of netizens are wondering what's gonna happen next, especially because the video said something about December 11th. I personally don't know if I am being a conspiracy theorist, what if December 11th is when the next player is supposed to start their turn? If that's the case, then that means something could happen today, tomorrow, anything. But also, once again, this is why people are wondering. Altoona, Pennsylvania is very specific, and ironically, it ties into the monopoly money found in Central Park. And Central Park's a huge place, a huge place. It is very easy to get lost there. It's very easy to hide things anywhere throughout the park. So clearly that bag, in my opinion, if it was found so quickly, it was found in a way where it's meant to be found, because, as I said, Central Park is huge. It is huge. It is like 20, 30 New York City blocks, Manhattan City blocks, and those are forever long. So yeah, a lot of people are wondering a few things. Does he have a get out of jail free card? Or is it just somebody else on his team's turn to roll the die? Now, since then, he was arriving to court and he said some very, very interesting things. I'll pull that up. So it's hard to hear what he said, but he was pretty much like, this is an insult to the American people. The policies, it's hard to hear. They really cut him off. They would not let him speak to the public. Now, he's going into court for his extradition to see if he could be extradited to New York. And he said in court on Monday, where he rejected several claims by the prosecution and believes that evidence was planted on him and he does not know where it came from. Prosecutors even said he used sophisticated criminal tactics, which he denied knowing anything about it. His exact words were saying, "I don't know where that money came from." The foreign money that was found in his bag, he said, "I don't know where that money came from. I'm not sure if it was planted." Also, that the bag is waterproof, so he doesn't know about criminal sophistication. And the reason he mentioned the bag is waterproof is because the prosecutors said that he had like a RFID blocking bag, which honestly I think everybody should get, since there's technology now where people can just tap you and get all your card information. But yeah, saying that he had an RFID blocking bag, and he's just like, yo, that bag is waterproof. That's why I have it. I do sports, etc., etc. And also, in regards to the money situation, I personally feel like that is the reason why people can believe that the money could have been planted, like things like that, or even the fraudulent IDs could have been planted, is because Luigi comes from a rich family. He comes from a rich family. He could easily just have enough or have bought his ticket, traveled somewhere, and have one of his cousins or one of his family members just fly him out or send him money somehow. He does not necessarily need to travel with foreign money. His family's wealthy. His family's loaded. They could have absolutely given him money anywhere in the world that he is without him having to walk around with that cash. That's my opinion. So, as of yesterday, December 11th, there are reports that fingerprints recovered in NYC appear to match Luigi's in Pennsylvania. However, the NYC prints found on a water bottle and on a cell phone were smudged. The little controversy behind it is that initially when it was reported, they said they had one fingerprint and it was smudged. Now they're saying, oh, they have it on a water bottle and on the cell phone. So a lot of people are skeptical because the reports of what police have found don't match up. Now, his lawyer, Luigi's lawyer, states that he has seen no evidence linking his client to the crime, even stating that a lot of guns look the same and that he has not been made aware of any evidence that links the gun that was found on his person to the crime. So these are things that we're looking to see. And I do want to state that, once again, the gun is 3D printed. And as Luigi states, allegedly, not everything on him was from him. He doesn't know where the money was. That the money was there. Chances are he probably had a manifesto and a notebook, which is indicated in the manifesto. Hey, maybe you'll find the notebook. But in regards to the money and fraudulent IDs, and even in regards to the gun, a 3D printed gun can be printed out within a day. So very, very, very interesting. But here is Luigi's lawyer.
Sir, can you just repeat? I'm sorry, folks are watching this, so they can have any questions.
Is that why all your cameras are here?
Can you just help us understand what do you expect him not to plead guilty to? Is this the murder charge or the charges in Pennsylvania?
If you charge a person, if the government charges a person with a crime, they have to prove that. Okay, and they have to have some evidence. All right, so we got it. Like I said, you can look on this table, and here's all the evidence I have right here. Zoom in. I suppose you want to. Nothing. I've seen nothing. I have nothing, and we'll get that. And we'll take
What is he pleading not guilty to? What charges? Both?
every charge,
Every charge. Soup to nuts.
every charge.
Are you about the money?
But what money?
It was $8,000. It was following him.
I'm not commenting on that again. Like I said, I don't know anything about money other than what I've heard from you guys, and I will get to the bottom of that and figure it out.
Taking a step back for a second, when you but stay close to the mics.
Okay, sorry.
When you saw news of the shooting last week that the CEO of United Health had been gunned down in the streets of Manhattan, what did you personally think? What was your reaction?
I'm a lawyer. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I don't have a whole lot of time to watch news. I just look at glances and
Okay, guys. So that was Luigi's lawyer. Luigi's lawyer is definitely an old-time New Yorker. Definitely. But yeah, pretty much he's just like, he hasn't been made aware of any evidence that actually links his client to the crime. So, as I said, this case is very controversial, and the controversial part is to do with Luigi himself comes off as a vigilante and is fighting for the people. For many, this is what many wanted to take action after being denied life-saving medication, life-saving help, life-saving equipment, and they were all denied by United Healthcare. Now, so many people have sympathized with him and understand why he did what he did. And also many people, I would believe, especially after COVID, realized just how little the people above care about them. And also, as I said, many people point out that, hey, this man, Ryan Thompson, due to his actions to increase his own pockets, has caused the deaths of millions. So the skepticism and the people of America, pretty much since Luigi's arrest, netizens have posted their support that there has been a wave. And there has been a wave of alibis with people saying that they were with him on December 4th, 2024 between the time of 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So I'm actually quite interested in the jurors they're going to get for this case, because all you need is one juror to say, no, that's not true. And then it ends up going on over and over and over again. And right now it seems like majority of the people are in favor of him. Now, there are netizens that are analyzing the photo that was caught, or the images from the video that was caught from the shooting when he pulled his mask down, and they're saying that person and Luigi is not the same person. The eyebrows are different, the smile is different, and then there's of course other people saying yes, it's the exact same person. Some are even saying that the reports that the police put out, that the media put out, they're saying that the reports are contradicting. They're saying he was caught with the same jacket and backpack, but they also reported that they found the backpack in the park several days ago. And then there's also rumors that Luigi is simply the fall guy or the secondary guy in an elaborate plan, partially because he is the richest and most affluential. Now, of course, everything is alleged and time will tell with this case, and everybody's watching to see what the next gameplay is. Now, after hearing all of this, my personal thoughts are, historically, oppressors can only be removed by revolution and violence. Historically, right? So, yes, this is an act of unaliving someone. However, choosing to deny people of necessary help, of life-saving help, in order to increase your own and your investors' pockets is also unaliving someone. Or, yeah. The people, the American people, are tired. And the foundation of every society is the people. So I do feel like right now we are in a time of eat the rich down to the bone. All the way down to the bone. And I am both like, I don't know what to say, but also I absolutely understand why the American public is feeling the way they're feeling. And I understand that what was done is not necessarily a good thing in many ways. If I am going to compare it to a comic book character, he's pretty much like Magneto. He's an anti-villain. You know, Magneto was fighting for mutant rights, but he was going about it by unaliving and hurting other people. So going about it in a bad way, but with a just cause. And I think in many ways, Luigi, if he is the actual culprit, he has a just cause, but he didn't go about it in a hero way. He kind of went about it in a villainous way. Regardless, these two people here have both done bad. And for many of the American public, the question is, you know, is Luigi truly the villain that the media paints? Or are we simply forgetting that Brian Thompson's greed, corporate America's greed, has murdered thousands upon millions of people as well? And he himself also is not innocent. And yeah, that's all I have. And like I said, something was, especially in that first video that was uploaded to YouTube, it said soon, and then a little bit at the end it popped up December 11th. I personally haven't seen any updates or anything for December 11th. But as I said, many people are speculating maybe there's another player and that's the day that they start their part or their turn. So we'll see what happens.